This poem came out of me thinking about my last summer in Tallahassee. I spent 5 years there, and it was kind of like one of those places where it was the best of times and the worst of times. I made a lot of great friends in Tallahassee, but I also feel like I made a lot of enemies in Tallahassee. And leaving a place like that is hard because I think from 18 to 23 was when I was there in my life. And so I really do feel like I grew up in a certain sense in that city, and leaving it was difficult. So I was working a job at a gardening center. I was giving blood to the blood bank. I was hanging out with all these old women because those are the only people that hang out at the blood bank and the gardening center. And also had me thinking about mothers too, because one of the things I was doing was delivering flowers to mothers. That when I started was during Mother's Day. So that was kind of like an interesting cut or like interesting tie-in here, which I only realized later. And then the lily is something I've kind of mashed two old ladies together with Tammy. And one of them worked at the corner store, and she loved these peace lilies. And the peace lily was the plant that they gave my grandparents when my mother passed away 20 years ago. And they planted it in their backyard. And since then, it's grown pretty significantly. And that thing probably has 30 blooms on it, and it gets bigger and bigger every year. So that's something that kind of like played into that too, but not in a real outward way. So I'm going to go ahead and read the poem, Watching the Lily Bloom. I delivered floral arrangements to every mother in North Florida that year of corner stores and public sandwiches, that summer of sticking needles in my arm with Miss Tammy. Her track marks were prodigious. They loved her at the blood bank. They loved her at the gardening center. Everyone listened when she told them her body had prolapsed. That was the year I lived in the shack, the year of crepe myrtles and real housewives and oysters in Tallahassee. Oh, Tallahassee. I hate you, Tallahassee. Your green hills, your rivers, and your lakes disgust me. Don't fall in love, Tammy told me, with anybody from Tallahassee. Don't fall in love with Tallahassee. Tallahassee on my tongue, dancing from the T to the L, like a cave on the H. And oh, say, can you see the Capitol building? Like a finger in the air all summer long. That year, I gave my heart to a place cut up by a train track. That summer of fireworks in the park and flamingos on my beach towel, Miss Tammy at the Stop and Shop, and her little lily plant that was dying in its sill, its green leaves browning while she laughed. How do I keep this thing alive? She asked me. I don't know how to keep anything living. I don't know anything except water and light.